Hey everyone, Josh and Alisha here with Terradrift, and if you like coffee as much as we do, we think you're gonna like this video, because it's all about that sweet nectar of the gods, coffee.
We might be addicted to it, and that might not be like super healthy, but it's the truth. It's certainly not the worst thing we could be addicted to.
That said, we're always looking for the best way to make it at the campground and in the backcountry. So we wrangled up what we think are the 5 best ways to make coffee in the great outdoors, and we're gonna break them down and put them to the test.
That means we're gonna analyze weight, size, how easy each method is to make, how long it takes, and what cleanup looks like, because that's a real concern, especially if you're camping out in the wilderness with no trash can, you know? You gotta do something with your garbage.
So let's get started. We're about to drink way too much coffee.
Yeah, we are.
Here are the contenders. A French press, this one's from BioLite and works awesome with the BioLite camp stove, but is better for car camping than backpacking for, obvious reasons. But GSI sells a personal JavaPress if this is your favorite brew method.
Next is the classic pour over. This collapsible model is from Sea to Summit and can be used with or without a paper filter, so it's really handy. Doesn't take up much room in your bag.
Next up is the Aeropress, a quick and easy way to make espresso. This is their new Aeropress Go model, which packs up nicely in the compact little package.
Fourth is the GSI Mini Espresso Maker in the 1 cup size. They also have a 4 cup version. This is one of our favorite ways to make coffee at home, so we were excited to see someone come out with a version meant for camping. The BioLite we use at home is aluminum and has little glasses. Not great for travel.
And last, the coffee everyone loves to hate. Instant. But not just any instant. We've already compared the cheap instant coffee you can get at the grocery store. We'll put a link to that video in the description below in case you missed it. But this stuff is from a reputable coffee roaster, Summit Coffee, from the East Coast. This instant is single origin and promises to be much better than the cheap swill from the coffee aisle.
Fingers crossed. Let's get tasting.
Let's do it.
We're gonna start with the French press. Now, I'm not even gonna bother talking about weight on this one because obviously you're not gonna be carrying this into the backcountry. It's large, it's heavy, but it makes up to 6 cups, so if you are going camping with a group of friends, this guy is perfect. Let's pour a cup.
Let's do it. So this is coffee that we prepared when we were testing all of these just before we recorded this video. So it's still nice and hot.
Cheers.
It's strong.
It is strong. I like that. Pretty smooth. And this is Bustelo espresso, pre-ground, nothing fancy.
Yeah, so this coffee, I will say, anytime you're using a French press, anytime you're not using a paper filter, really, you're probably going to get some particulates, some dustings of coffee in the bottom of your cup, which some people like. So if you like that in your coffee, then a French press is going to be the way to go.
It's also not going to take out as many of the oils. Anytime you use a paper filter, a lot of the natural oils of the coffee will be filtered out. So that's just a preference and taste.
For all of these, we used about 16 grams of coffee. That's going to be a little bit different water to coffee ratio on each of these, but on the pour over and the French press, it was 16 grams of coffee per 300 grams of water.
Not that you're going to be weighing water on the trail, but gives you an idea.
All right, let's move on to the pour over.
We like to use a paper filter with this one. It does come with a removable little mesh screen disc to go in the bottom there so that you can clean it and not have to carry a paper filter. But we find that the water moves through that too quickly for our taste. We like it a little stronger. If you don't mind a slightly weaker coffee, go ahead and use as is. I'm gonna pour myself less. This one also looks nice and dark. Ooh, yeah.
That is a different flavor, though.
It is. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
I would almost say just slightly more acidic. I didn't think that I liked French press better than anything, but I think I might.
French press wins over this?
French press over pour over.
Yeah. All right. That's going to be a lot of caffeine.
Oh, I'm going to have trouble sleeping tonight. Yeah, okay.
All right, next we have the Aeropress, which is such a cool invention.
I love that their new Go is like in this single little package thing. Like all you need is right in here. You can even probably fit your coffee for a night or two, for a person or two.
Yeah, totally.
In this container if you wanted.
Yeah.
Although frankly, if I'm going backpacking, I'm going to ditch almost all of the unnecessary components of that package because it's not super light.
All right, let's pour ourselves a little bit here.
Now this makes more of an espresso style coffee. It's also slightly different.
Smooth though. It's pretty smooth.
Yeah, pretty smooth. It's not as strong as I thought. I thought it would be stronger compared to some of the other ones.
Yeah, so on this one, there are like 3 little measurements on the press itself. 1 shot, 2 shots, and 3 shots. And for this one, we did 3 shots worth of water for 16 grams of coffee. And 16 grams of coffee is pretty much what you get in one of the scoops that they include in this. So, you know, it's all about taste on this one, but it does make a super smooth shot of espresso. Very strong, very tasty. Next up, we have the GSI Mini Espresso Maker.
Isn't it cute?
It's so cool.
Look at this. This is a little double-walled tiny mug. It's so cute. I love it.
So the thing I love about this is that it uses a lot of pressure to push the water up through the coffee and out this little spout. So it does give you a nice espresso taste, but I'm talking too much. Let's try it.
Coffee. Ooh, that's dark. Yeah, mama.
That looks really, really dark. Wow. And I don't think you can quite see that.
That is black as night, is what that is.
Like
Which
that is
is
really, really dark.
Exactly how I like my coffee. So that I can put just a splash of unsweetened like oat milk in it. And just makes it perfect. Oh, that's espresso.
That is espresso.
That's straight up espresso right there.
If you like espresso,
yes.
That's the ticket right there. Like you can get close with the Aeropress, but that, I don't know, that seems closer to an actual like cafe made espresso to me.
It is espresso dark and espresso strong, and I like it.
Woo! That's intense.
Yeah. Woohoo!
Not acidic though. It's really nice actually.
Yeah. Very smooth still, and has that good coffee flavor. So lastly, we're gonna try this new Summit coffee. They just recently released this. Actually, we picked it up at Outdoor Retailer in January, and so we're really interested to try it because it comes in these funny little tubes, which they do encourage that you reuse. They give even some ideas for how to reuse in the package, so that's fun. But yeah, it comes in a little tube. I guess we should find out how much water to put in it. Mix with 8 to 10 ounces of hot water. That's quite a lot of water, actually. Most instant coffees call for like 6 ounces, maybe 8. I'm just gonna pour this in 1 cup, and then we can split it, because I don't need 10 ounces of coffee right now.
Nope.
And this is like single origin, right? It smells actually like coffee, not like instant. Just mix that up, make sure everything gets dissolved. We stirred it, it's hot. It's hot. It tastes way better than instant. I will say that. That is a totally tolerable instant coffee.
So it still has that smell, that instant coffee smell, but not much. Huh. Yeah, it's very smooth.
It's just a smidge acidic.
Yeah, I could totally drink that.
That's a drinkable instant. If you saw our taste test and review of store-bought instant coffees, you'll know that they are all terrible. This one is not. If you like just the ease of instant, that is a quality find.
It's a quality find.
I would say it's not as strong as some of the other.
Right, yeah, no, this isn't as strong, and...
It's not an espresso blend, basically.
No, it's not an espresso blend.
It's Finca Nueva Zelandia.
Yeah,
Not bad.
it's good. Good stuff.
Now, you won't find it in grocery stores unless you live near where Summit is located in North Carolina, but you can order online. So if you need some good instant coffee, we'll put a link to that in the description below. As for favorites here, I'm gonna say definitely the GSI Mini Espresso maker, because I like espresso. I like it really dark. I like it with a splash of milk. Or when I'm backpacking or camping, a lot of times I'll just have powdered coconut creamer, like from Coconut Cloud or something, just a little bit of that in there. The Aeropress and the French press were actually like runners up, I think.
Yeah, totally.
The pour over being, it's fine. Just not my favorite. But sometimes taste isn't your main driving force in choosing a coffee when you're backpacking, especially. So let's talk about weight. Like I said, this is not going to be for backpacking, so don't take this. But the personal JavaPress from GSI is about 10.7 ounces, but that does include a cup, like a mug to drink it out of, and the little press thing. So if you have a lighter weight mug that you have, you can take that down a bit.
So the next one, the Sea to Summit X-Brew collapsible pour over. This one is under 3 ounces. We do suggest a filter with it though, just for easy cleanup and better tasting coffee.
The Aeropress Go weighs 11 ounces with the whole package. However, if you break it down to the bare bones, like you ditch this red cap, you take out this, you don't bring the scoop or the stir, because you're probably already gonna have a spoon or a spork or something, so just stir it yourself. And if you already have an ultralight mug, this isn't that light, so you ditch all this stuff and just bring this and the filters, you're looking at only 5.5 ounces.
So the GSI Mini Espresso is 10 ounces with both the coffee maker and the little cup. And if you use the nice little case it comes with, it does increase the weight to 17 ounces.
So ditch that sucker if you're going backpacking with it. Lastly, the Summit coffee is obviously gonna be the lightest. One tube weighs 0.35 ounces. It's heavier than most instant coffees because it's in this tube instead of in a little plastic package, but it is reusable. If you're ultralight packing or don't want to deal with having to carry an empty tube around with you, which, oh my gosh, this would totally be perfect for like spices and salt and stuff. Ooh, backpacking.
Nice.
But you could totally put this in another small package or a lighter weight thing like a tiny little zip top bag, which you can wash and reuse also. So that's pretty much the breakdown of how much each thing weighs. As far as ease of use and time it takes to make and clean up, obviously we didn't factor in boiling water into any of these. That's going to depend on what kind of stove you have and how much water you're boiling at a time, so you're going to have to figure that one out. For a French press, you're supposed to leave it, marinating for 4 minutes. So after you boil your water, you just pour it in the French press, let it sit for 4 minutes, plunge it, and pour it, and you've got yourself a thing. The GSI espresso maker also takes about 4 to 5 minutes if you don't boil the water first. If you already have boiling water, feel free to fill the bottom with the boiling water, and it'll take probably less than a minute then to make the espresso. But 4 to 5 if you're pouring in cold coffee, which does make it easier to hold and handle and screw the top on if it's not hot.
Our Summit coffee obviously is instant, so it's
0 time.
Instant.
It's
yeah.
Wait, there's not much more to say about that. The pour over takes maybe 2 minutes. If you're using a paper filter, it'll probably take less than that if you're not using the filter, because the water runs through, faster. But boil the water, pour it in, 2 minutes, you have a cup.
So for the Aeropress, it's going to take approximately 30 seconds. You're going to put your coffee in, your boiling water, stir that for about 10 seconds, and then plunge it. And I generally like to plunge for like 15 to 20 seconds, and that produces a pretty tasty cup of coffee.
Lastly, we're just gonna cover cleanup real quick because that's a real concern when you are on the trail making coffee, because you have to do something with all of those grounds. There aren't any hard and fast rules about what to do with coffee grounds. If you're able to really rinse something out well and scatter them. Leave no trace says that that's usually okay. Ideally, you would dig a hole and bury any coffee grounds that you have. If you can't do that, you should pack them out. So that said, the Aeropress makes that really easy because after you're done with it, it pops out a perfect little cake of coffee grounds, right? So you can just bury that, you can crumble it up and toss it, you can put it in a zip top bag and pack it out. It's really easy.
Yep, you might have a little bit of residue on the end of the plunger, but other than that, it's pretty clean.
There's just a filter in the bottom that you have to take out and pack out, but it's very small, and even wet, it weighs almost nothing.
So the GSI espresso maker is very similar. It creates a little puck of espresso grounds. So that's really easy to clean up. Just drop into a plastic bag for packing out, or just scattering it or burying it.
It does take longer to cool down though. So if you're trying to get out of camp fast, you're either gonna have to run it under cold water, pour some of your precious water reserves over it to cool it down, or you're just gonna have to wait it out because it will stay hot for a while. And ideally you would rinse out the little coffee holder part inside.
Yep.
So that's kind of up to you, I guess.
So these two, the pour over and the French press, are pretty similar in cleanup. It's going to involve pouring some water in, kind of sloshing it around, and scattering the coffee grounds.
Basically, it's just going to be a bigger mess.
Yeah, this one is really hard to pack out unless you use a paper filter in this one. If you don't use a paper filter, both of these are going to be scattering or burying the grounds.
And lastly, obviously, instant, no cleanup required because you drank it all. Just make sure you pack out the tube or whatever package that the coffee came in. Don't try to bury it. Why would you do that? It's plastic. It doesn't decompose. It takes ages. So just pack out whatever packaging it's in, and no cleanup required, which is really nice. Well, that's it, guys. The 5 best ways to make coffee while camping. Feel free to share which is your favorite, or which you hate, I guess, or if we missed one that you really, really like. Besides cowboy coffee, nobody likes that. Don't drink cowboy coffee. That's ew. Unless you like chewing coffee grounds.
So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for future videos on, well, coffee and backpacking and all kinds of crazy destinations and travel tips. And be sure to check us out on social media at Terradrift on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And of course, our website, terradrift.com, where you'll find much, much more.
Thanks for watching, guys. Stay caffeinated and wander on. I've had too much coffee.